congratulations on the second season.
Thank you.
I'm going to start with you, Gugu. Well, does it feel like a shift bringing it from San Francisco to London? Is that has it felt like that for you as well?
Yeah, a huge shift, but a really exciting one. I think for me, I think season one, I was talking with one of the Hello Sunshine producers about this. The idea of season one being like this roller coaster that's like slow, like going towards, and then season two, it's like whoa, it goes off the cliff and like really, really picks up pace. And for me to be in London, obviously as a Brit is really exciting, but also for the story, to have, this incredible British cast, these iconic locations, and really, to be doing a second season of something I've not done many, returning series. So for me, it's also a new challenge. You don't feel like anything stale. If anything, it's bigger and more exciting. So yeah, it's been a joy.
Oliver, James follows her, Sophie, to London, obviously, and it's a whole new adventure. How did that feel for you? I mean, you're originally from London as well, aren't you?
Yeah, from Shepherd's Bush. Do you know what? This is the second job I've ever shot in London in my whole, and I'm 150 years old. So I've been doing this a long time. So it was just like a joy. I mean, I think I'm so kind of grateful. They very much could have just left James in San Francisco, just sort of twiddling his thumbs, wondering where the hell Sophie went. But the fact that he kind of gets on a plane and tries to track her down, it's like the world has opened up so in such a massive way for season two, and the sort of introduction of all these characters, and feels like we were saying yesterday, it's like this well, and the further you go down, the more kind of stuff you uncover, and the fact that James turns up in London to basically, Sophie's on her mission and he just basically runs a truck through her life to try and derail the whole thing. So it's, there's so much kind of fun stuff to play with all of that.
Millie, Eliza is a brand new character in this, but she's also like, we've gone from that slow burn of season one into this like a proper sort of, fast-paced narrative in this one. How does that feel, like joining these guys?
Amazing. Well, I actually was in season one for just a couple of scenes, but what's quite funny was that it was during COVID that we filmed, and so I was actually out there for 5 months. I think I had 2 days filming. I was out there for 5 months, so I knew the cast really well, but I sort of was like on the outskirts in terms of I wasn't in filming every day. I became like on-set dog walker and super fan. So then by the time season 2 came along, I was like, okay, I'm getting to do stuff. And as you say, it's like totally catapulted into this high octane, really dramatic, so many twists and turns. So it was very fun to go from dog walker to
and horse rider and cellist.
And cellist.
Gugu, obviously you are executive producer. You were in the first and this. What does that entail? And whilst you're working and such, you're almost in every scene, really.
Yes.
So does that get complicated at all?
Well, initially it entailed being a part of the production before it was even pitched to Apple. So, pitching the show to Apple, being alongside Veronica West, our showrunner, and Lauren Newstadter and Ashley Strumwasser, our producers at Hello Sunshine, really to kind of be a part of the shaping of the story and the writing process. And then there's day-to-day decisions in terms of casting, in terms of hiring the directors, being involved in that process, from cinematographers, from the composer. So it's really, all the facets. And then, we have the pre-production process. Then luckily, because the other producers are so phenomenal, when we're on set, I can focus on being the actor, and obviously if there's things or any problems that come up, people know that they can come to me in that capacity. But then, then once filming wraps, it's post-production, it's being across the edits, the sound, the mix, all of those things. So it's been a huge learning curve to be able to kind of be a part and have an influence of the production as a whole, not just my role as an actor.
I do feel that Gugu, and I've said this before. Her wearing both hats, she does it so flawlessly, and it's unbelievable how she kind of straddles those two kind of positions. But I have to say, on something like this, with Veronica, with Hello Sunshine, with Apple, they are so unbelievably collaborative that even though I'm not a producer on the show, I always feel heard, that there's such an invitation for collaboration on so much that it's it's
and
a
it's
really
been interesting,
kind of
I think, with Veronica as well. Our showrunner's American, and so she's been very, very open to, to asking us, now that the show is in England, there are certain cultural things and certain location things, and that we can actually contribute in that way as well. And she's always, wanting us to feel connected to our characters. There's been a lot of collaborative conversation.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for your time, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys!
Hey,